Hey guys, it's Chris. Do you want to get away from it all? Why not get your own private island? Obviously, that won't come cheap, but from tropical getaways to European luxury, here are 10 of the most expensive private islands in the world. Laucala Island, Fiji. One misconception that people may have is that to own a private island, you have to buy it. While that is true in the pure sense of ownership, you can, of course, rent a private island. You know, to check it out and see if you want one in the first place. And one place you can do so is the islands of Fiji. Granted, not all of them are for rent, or even for sale, but some are, including Laucala Island. Laucala is actually quite revered by travelers and rich people. This is one of the 300 Fiji islands that was set up to be a place where people could come, relax, and enjoy their stay before heading back to their lives. As such, the resort that is on the island is perfectly suited for someone who wants to get away from it all. Not to mention, because it's private, you won't be disturbed, which is only benefited by the fact that some of the resorts are on a hilltop, so you'll actually have a more scenic view of the waters in the islands of Fiji. Things you can do while there include tours, going to specialized farms, horseback riding, jet skiing, kayaking, fishing, snorkeling, surfing, and more. To get access to this private island, though, you'll need to be willing to spend $62,000 a night. Number 9. Calivigny Island, Grenada. Sometimes when you have the money, you don't just want to go where you can be alone. You'll want to bring family, friends, and maybe even acquaintances, because of course, we all need an entourage. For those people, a place like Calivigny Island in Grenada is the place to go. Why? Well, they don't just offer 2-bedroom apartments on this private island, they offer mansions. And they're big ones. They also have cottages, and for over $100,000, you can rent all of them and find yourself hosting a party for over 50 people, and possibly more if you want to squeeze them all in. The place itself is quite luxurious, and you'll be able to see the Atlantic Ocean from your window, as well as the Caribbean Sea. The island itself is famous for how luxurious it is both inside and out, which is why it's so popular to many people in the right circles. If you're curious as to what you can do on this island besides party with your friends, then that would be playing tennis, having a swimming pool in case you don't want to swim in the ocean, windsurfing, jet skiing, fishing, snorkeling, and more, depending on what your friends bring to the table. Number 8. Necker Island, Virgin Islands. When you're rich and you own your own island, you have the opportunity to rent it out to those less fortunate. Or in the case of Richard Branson, very fortunate. He owns Necker Island within the British Virgin Islands, and he's made the place his own for many times of the year. However, he won't stay there all the time, and thus he'll allow someone to rent it out to do what they will with it. For a price, of course. The island has a resort that can house 30 people. And some very famous people have happily taken Branson up on his offer, such as model Kate Moss when she wanted to celebrate her 40th birthday. Or when Larry Page, co-founder of Google, wanted to have his wedding somewhere special. Or how about Wikipedia co-founder Jimmy Wales for his honeymoon? Even British royalty have come here. All of these people paid Richard Branson his price, and they were waited on hand and foot by the 80-person staff as a result. Not to mention having an island mostly to themselves. The price of getting this island is $48,000 a night. So come for the relaxation, but revel in the fact that you've walked on the ground that many other famous people have walked on. And before we get to number 7, if you're new here, I want to say welcome. Make sure you subscribe before you go. We have lots and lots of new videos coming up. Number 7, Isla TAGOMAGO. In Spain, there is a place called Ibiza, and it is known for its nightlife above all else. Massive parties and nightclubs fill up the area with sound music and dancing. For those who prefer a more quiet experience, you can go to Isla TAGOMAGO, which is just off the coast of Ibiza and far enough away that the sounds of the nightclubs won't disturb you in any meaningful way. In fact, Isla TAGOMAGO is so respected that it's considered the best private island you can rent in the area, which is saying something because of how beautiful Spain is. Many celebrities have even come here to relax, so if they like it, so could you, which features not only exotic pools and lavish beaches, but also plenty of activities for you to do. You'll find something worth having fun over. Not to mention, it's actually really close to the nearby airport, so you'll be able to get in and out with little fuss or muss. Plus, should a party in Ibiza sound appealing to you, you can be there in less than 5 minutes. The only catch is that it'll cost you $109,000 a night to be there. Number 6. VELAA Private Island in the Maldives. The Maldives is a place that is actually known for its private islands and its resorts. But when it comes to the best of the best, most people look to VELAA. This island is owned by Yuri Smejic, who is a billionaire from the Czech Republic. He wasted no expense in the making of this resort. He made sure that the inside was just as good as the outside. Once you go in, you'll find yourself with a gym, a major quality spa, squash and tennis courts, a golf academy, and even a climbing wall. So no matter what style or sport you want to partake in, you'll find something to do. This, of course, barely even mentions the swimming pools and the beaches that are attached to the resort, or even the high-quality restaurants that will happily feed you should you decide to go. There is a big catch to VELAA, though. You can only reserve the resort for 6 nights, and it'll cost you $1.8 million when you do. Number 5. Shelter Island, Montana. When you think about Montana in the United States, you're likely not picturing an island anywhere near it. In fact, you probably are surprised that an island exists there at all, but it does. Shelter Island comes from Flathead Lake and is actually quite large, 24 acres to be exact. Someone realized that this island could be used for something good, so they put a mansion on it. And then they put it up for sale. The mansion itself is 24,000 square feet, which actually makes it the largest private home in all of Montana. Given that it's Montana and that you're on a lake, your activities will not be limited. You'll have the opportunities to fish, swim, go and pilot a boat or jet ski, etc. If your activities are more land-based, you'll find that Montana has plenty of hunting grounds, so you can have fun there too. So how much for this island in the middle of a lake within Montana? Well, previous estimates had it at $59 million, but it has gone down in price since, only costing $45 million. Number 4. Key Chapel Island, Belize. Heading to the country of Belize, if you're interested in an island in South America, Key Chapel Island might be what you're looking for. This particular island has many attractions, including a complete 18-hole golf course. There's an airstrip that'll allow you to fly to and from it with little issue, and a massive 25,000 square foot clubhouse where you can live and have fun with friends. Speaking of friends, they'll enjoy the swimming pool and the bar that come with the place. If you're considering getting this island, you'll have to pay a pretty penny for it, as it can cost up to $65 million. Number 3. Daros Island, Seychelles. The Seychelles are widely considered one of the most beautiful island chains in the world, so it shouldn't be a surprise that there are islands there that can be bought, and it also shouldn't be a surprise that they cost quite a pretty penny, such as Daros Island. Believe it or not, the island was once owned by a prince in Iran. He owned it for over 20 years. But then the island was bought randomly and mysteriously, and no one truly knows who owns it now. However, when they bought it, they spent $94 million on it. Number 2. Lisbon Island, Portugal. Lisbon Island is one of the more interesting private islands in the world, simply for the reason that it's actually not developed very much. It's in many ways a natural island, one that doesn't have many things done to it, which can be taken many ways. On one hand, if you want a place to observe the natural beauty of the world, this would be a good spot for you to do so. However, another way to take it is that if you had wanted a blank slate to try and do what you wanted, this island could service that function as well. Whatever way you feel is best for you, you better be ready to break your piggy bank for this island. For if you want to live just off Portugal, it would cost you $310 million. To be fair, it used to be valued at $350 million, so you're actually getting a bit of a discount. Number 1. LANAI Island, Hawaii. Hawaii is one of the last states in the United States and is home to many islands, both publicly and privately owned. The place is considered a paradise to many, and that has jacked up the prices of much of the islands that are actually available for sale, such as LANAI Island. In terms of scale, it's the 6th largest island in the chain, but it's actually the smallest of the islands to actually be inhabited. It's a bit confusing as a whole, but it does make sense when you think about it. Going to LANAI Island will be an experience. The Four Seasons has multiple resorts there, and you'll also find golf courses, mountains to climb, and of course, beaches to go and run free in. The best part of the island may just be the fact that while there's a city there, it's not a true city in many ways. There are hotels, but no shopping malls, no traffic lights, and the hotel gives you the transportation you need to go everywhere. Should you want to buy this island, you'll have to talk to Larry Ellison, who owns 97% of the island and has valued it at $610 million. Well, thanks for watching. What did you think of these private islands? Do you think they're worth the price? And which one do you think you'd like to own? Let me know in the comments below and be sure to subscribe so I can see you next time.